knowing that I was coming out here for a second season back-to-back, my mind's still very much in the game, and I'm not really considering, the sentimental value of Survivor right now. I'm more thinking about how I have to get rid of 19 other people. I recognize everybody out there. I know how they played the game before.
Malcolm's an obvious favorite. I don't think there's any explanation needed. He has everything you want in a Survivor contestant except $1 million check.
You're gonna get a lot of the same me the second time around for sure, with a few modifications. I've learned some things, some tricks that didn't work that I thought would. I've learned that there's some aspects of my behavior that aren't necessarily as charming as I thought they might be. And so there's definitely going to be some modifications, but for the most part, you're going to get the same me the second time around.
Every season of Survivor is a story. There are main characters, sidekicks, comic reliefs, and villains. A good season of Survivor tells a compelling story with characters you love and characters you hate in hopes that it all ends in a satisfying conclusion. Each story we look at together will go through one character's journey from beginning to end while analyzing every character moment and strategic move to determine whether they were a hero or a villain and whether they were a good or bad strategist. And with that, welcome to Once Upon an Island. For reference, we are only observing and analyzing the story that is being told through the show. No future seasons will be mentioned, but I may include secret scenes and behind-the-scenes footage from the season to enhance said story. Now with that,
39 days, 20 people, 1 survivor.
Less than a month after season 25 Philippines wrapped up filming in the Philippines, of course, Malcolm is back again. Same location, different season. Season 26, Caramoan sees the return of the fans versus favorites format. 10 quote-unquote fans and 10 quote-unquote favorites battle it out, and like Russell Hantz before him, Malcolm is playing with a group of people who did not see his first game at all. Jeff reintroduces us to Malcolm by saying he is one of the most popular people to ever play the game, which is a bold statement considering he lost the fan favorite award last season to Lisa Whelchel. But when the fans tribe see him, as expected, there's zero reaction. Like, they don't respond at all to him showing up. They're like, who is this guy? I mean, yeah, that makes sense. The favorites then win reward on the backs of Malcolm and Corinne, and upon arriving on their beaches, I think the fans, from my assessment, are on the Matt Singh beach from last season, and the favorites are, I'm not sure if this is correct, I think this is the original Calabar beach, or maybe it's somewhere new. You tell me. Anyways, Malcolm says, I am the new kid, the unknown factor, and I need to do my best to make a good first impression. Now, there are a few people here worth mentioning. Eric, who gave immunity to Natalie. Have you ever heard about that? Do you know Eric gave immunity to Natalie? Well, he's now a favorite. Brandon Hantz, who is back only 6 months after being ripped apart on live TV by his uncle Russell, and Philip Shepard is here, weirdly enough trying to play like Boston Rob. Despite trying to play like Boston Rob, he's still doing the Stealth RS thing, and that's important. Apparently though, Malcolm is in on Stealth RS, which is good for Malcolm, and the Majority Alliance, which quickly gets together on the Favorites Tribe, is run by Philip Shepard, of all people. So we go to the immunity challenge where Malcolm is the deciding factor on whether they win or not.
Reynolds scores one for the fans. Reynolds scores another one for the fans. It is 4-3 fans. 5-3 fans. The fans need one more bag, and there it is. Fans win first immunity challenge.
Thankfully for Malcolm, despite blowing that challenge, he is not in the cards to be voted off. Why? Well, basically Francesca and Philip are still feuding. That's right, their feud from season 22, it's continuing here, and they want each other gone. Francesca was the first boot the last time she played, and here she just wants to get past this tribal, and she thinks Philip is in her way. We then go to Tribal Council, where Boston Rob is brought up again because Philip can't stop talking about Boston Rob. Like, it's just endless. He's like, Boston Rob this, Boston Rob that. And it's like, Philip, dude, you're not Boston Rob. Malcolm then touches Cochran's shoulder like Boston Rob used to do in season 22 to indicate who he was voting out, and here it's just a joke. So they all vote, and
First vote, Andrea. Andrea. 3 votes, Andrea. Andrea. That's 4 votes, Andrea. Francesca. 2 votes, Francesca. That's 3 votes, Francesca. Francesca, we're tied. Francesca, first person voted out of Survivor fans versus favorites. Francesca. Francesca, Travis spoken.
Again.
Do you want to tell me what videos I should make? Well, the patrons on Patreon get to do that every month. You also get to watch everything I make up to 7 months early and join our Survivor Fantasy League if you join us on Patreon. There's a link in the description. Thank you for your support. Now with that, was it cruel to vote out Francesca again, making her the only player to ever be voted out first on 2 separate seasons? Well, if you're Brandon Hantz, the answer is yes. He's so ticked that he tells Dawn and Cochran they will not win the game thanks to that move. He then tells us that he is feeling revengeful and he will pee in the rice and beans if he feels the need to. What? Holy crap. A lot has changed for this guy in the 1 year. That's right, he hasn't played in a year. And last time he's like, I'm gonna redeem the Hantz family name. And this time he's like, I'm peeing in the rice and beans. What a massive shift. But back to Malcolm. He is now in Stealth RS, as we said before, but what is his name?
I've got your name as the Enforcer.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so after doing that, the newest member, Stealth RS Inc., is the Enforcer. Principal responsibility is to make sure that in any challenge, whether it be a man or woman, that he put her out of commission in terms of winning that challenge. The Enforcer.
I don't know what's going through Philip's head. He's just out here and he thinks he's running some sort of corporation of a spy corporation, and he's just really getting ridiculous. But if it's Stealth RS for a few days and it makes a couple people happy, why not? Let's be Stealth RS for the entire game. I'm gonna hang myself. Philip Shepard's an insane person.
Yeah, that seems to be what most people are doing, simply appeasing Philip until it comes time to vote him out. But no one wants him to blow up on them like he blew up on others his last time playing. Their tribe wins immunity and reward, and in episode 3, Corinne tells Malcolm that, hey, not many people want you to go to the end. Is this true? I mean, we haven't seen anyone say it. Not at all. But we do see people saying they want Corinne out. So let's keep that information in our back pocket for now, because if Malcolm feels like the oddball in his alliance, that could affect things later on. So he goes to look for an idol, and
in our large alliance of 6, there's an interesting dynamic that Andrea and Philip have both played together and have a connection, and Cochran and Dawn have both played together and have a connection. So that really just left Malcolm and I. And we sort of gravitated towards each other. He's like super smart, went to an Ivy League school, like he's got his head on his shoulders. And it doesn't hurt to have somebody good looking around.
No way.
No.
Congratulations. I'm not thrilled that Corinne knows I have the idol. Of course, in a perfect world, I'd have it all to myself. But Corinne does know about it, and she's somebody that luckily I did have, a good relationship early on in this game.
Just the two of us.
Nobody knows?
Nobody knows. Okay.
Done.
Heyo, and he didn't even need production to hint, wink, wink like I suggested they did last season at the Matt Singh tribe. They then win immunity and reward, and that reward gives them Tata the Bushman, a small fellow who knows a lot about how to survive in the wilderness, loves the ladies, and basically no one really understands much of what he is saying, but he is wildly entertaining. Malcolm even compares him to a Filipino Gollum, and Cochran says, if I approach the ladies the same way Tata did, I would be thrown in jail. But then some strange events occur. While swimming in the pond at their camp, Brandon tells Eric that if things don't go the way he wants them to, then he is burning this camp down. I mean, first it was peeing in the food, now it's burning the camp down. Brandon needs to go, right? Whatever happened to turning around the Hantz family name? Something has gone on very wrong in between that season and this season. We then see Shamar of the Fans tribe get medically evacuated because like a piece of sand gets in his eye. Wild. They then win immunity, and in episode 5, Brandon says, guys, I want out. I want you to vote me out. It was selfish for me to come here and leave my 2 kids back at home. Let's just take a pause here. Brandon is 20 years old, married with 2 kids. That's a lot of responsibility. Malcolm says if Brandon didn't want to play, then he should have thought of that before he came out here. I agree. But then the next morning, Brandon says, actually, I want to stay, and I apologize to all of you for wanting to burn down the camp and pee in the rice and beans. He just publicly admits that. Like, nobody knew about anything except for Eric knowing about maybe burning down the camp, but Eric was like, Eric's such a goofball, dude. Eric did not take him seriously, if that makes sense. Well, we then see Philip and Brandon butt heads, and enough is enough. Brandon finally snaps.
This Philip and Brandon rivalry, it's getting to me. I woke up this morning. Who starts the fire? Brandon starts the fire. Who's the only dude in this tribe who can start a fire with a piece of flint? Brandon. So I don't need no old 54-year-old punk bitch telling me don't bite the hand that feeds you. He doesn't feed me. I'm a Hantz. I feed me.
No, Brandon.
Come on, Brandon.
Brandon, out now.
Stop it. Wow. Hey, Phil, here's a reason to vote me out, you little... Huh? With your stealth all rust bull... Huh? I'm the author of my fate, buddy. I'm the author of my fate.
What the heck? Brandon has been planning out something like this for the entire season and probably before the season. And as soon as Philip did just enough to make him snap, it was all that he needed. One day I will need to make a Brandon rise and fall video to dive deep into exactly what happened. But until then, just know he snapped and the favorites go, yeah, we're gonna forfeit this immunity challenge and just go to tribal. So
Let me help you out a little bit, okay? They don't respect anything about the fans. That's bull, Corinne. Complete bull.
Okay, Brandon.
Don't play miss, I'm cool with the fans, period. And Philip speaks so highly of himself. Stop talking about yourself. Boston Rob took you to the end of the game. You didn't do anything. You were made fun of, and you come here and you tell me don't bite the hand that feeds you? I feed myself.
You need to grow up.
You need to shut up.
Okay, why don't we just cut to the chase? We're having tribal council right now. You good with this?
I'm good with it.
All right, 6th person voted out of this game, Brandon Hantz.
good riddance. I cannot imagine living at camp with someone like that. Brandon needs some serious help. So the next episode begins and a tribe swap is here. Good, because Malcolm is on the new Go-To tribe and man, they are stacked when it comes to challenges. They win immunity in a blowout and Reynolds and Eddie of the fans immediately throw Sherry under the bus and say she sucks so hard, and Malcolm loves this.
So far, I couldn't ask for more from a really dysfunctional group of people you're going to join up with.
You seriously, you don't have an idol?
No, I don't have an idol.
Is this dream?
Because your dream is like putting it in your head.
I keep thinking.
I looked when Andrea, she had a dream that I had the idol last night. It's sitting in my wrist right next to her head. I love this game. She's a smart girl, but you know, I'm an accomplished liar when it comes to women, so maybe I pulled it off.
Free information is free information, and it feels like this group of fans is not well suited to take down the favorites, almost like they were cast to be cannon fodder or something. Weird. Anyways, they win immunity and reward again, and on the feast, Malcolm is kissing head after head. But he knows that this is all temporary. Come the merge, he says, I will be a big target. There will be a target on my back due to my challenge prowess, and that is when big moves will need to be made. So he talks to Reynolds, another potential challenge threat, and
When people have the same problem, it's easy to bring them together. We have to sit there going into the merge. The four of us, the guys, are going to be the first four targets. We know that. It's got to be the four guys.
Up to this point, I mean, I've been lied to a lot by my previous tribe. So, like, up to this point, yeah, the only person I really believe is Eddie. I believe you, man. Like, because you have no reason to be talking to me right now.
We're in the same boat.
Will they tell you if they're going for me?
Yeah, because they think I'm on board. And if it is, like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Will you tell me?
Yeah, well, if you can protect yourself, I'll tell you.
I have the idol.
All right. Yes, I will definitely tell you.
All right. Don't mention anything to him about the idol.
No. All right, sick. If I didn't completely trust Reynolds after selling him on this idea, I trust him now because he's gone so over the top unnecessarily to prove his loyalty that he's told me about his idol. So with this information, I'm the only one in the game who knows where both idols are. And I can't wait to see the look on some people's faces when I take control of this game. God, I can't wait.
will this matter? Well, they win immunity yet again, and now it's time for the merge. Oh boy, here we go. The merge is here and the favorites are up 8-4. On top of that, Malcolm only had to attend one tribal council the entire pre-merge, a stark contrast to what happened last time when he was on Matt Singh. As the newly merged tribe decides what to call themselves, Malcolm pulls a Boston Rob and suggests Anil Adam, which backwards spells out Madeline, aka his mom. Both times, the merged tribes that have been tricked into doing these tribe names that really don't mean anything but mean something to the one person, Philip Shepard has been present. I mean, if I had a nickel for every time that happened. Anyways, Malcolm connects with Corinne, who says Philip has gotten worse than he was at the beginning of the game. He needs to go. But first, let's vote off Sherry, a fan, and keep things kosher. Cochran then beats Malcolm for immunity. I did not expect to be saying that. And back at camp, Philip wants either Eddie or Reynolds gone, which sucks because that is who Malcolm is working with. Those are his two people. They are the three amigos. But Philip thinks that he so solidly has the numbers that they can split their votes on Eddie and Reynolds. Perfect. And that's not sarcasm. That's literally perfect. If Philip really thinks this and they really do split the votes the way that it's planned out, his side will fail and Malcolm's side will have the numbers because Malcolm is stacking people to make a move happen. He has Corinne, he has Michael Snow, he has Eddie, he has Reynolds, and maybe Eric. I mean, 5 is enough, but 6 with Eric would be great. This plan should go off without a hitch. So, of course, Corinne ruins it. She talks with Philip and he says, forget splitting the votes. We're piling all our votes on Corinne. Oh my gosh. So they all vote at Tribal and...
First vote, Sherry. Corinne. Sherry. Corinne. Sherry. Corinne. That's 3 votes, Corinne. Sherry. Corinne. 4 votes, Corinne. Sherry. 5 votes, Sherry. We're tied. 5 votes, Sherry. 5 votes, Corinne. Corinne. 6 votes, Corinne. 9th person voted out of Survivor fans versus favorites. Corinne. Corinne, the tribe has spoken.
Malcolm is so screwed. His ballsy move of flipping on the Philip alliance because Sherry had flipped to Philip. She was kind of becoming like his number one. I mean, she kind of is, I guess. She's more of like a lackey of Philip. Yeah, that failed. He wanted her out and it did not work out. And Eric also did not vote with Malcolm. So he really has 4 people. He is now on the wrong side. He's with a small group of people. It is 7-4 in a bad way. Malcolm says, well, this sucks, but at least I have the idol and I know where the fans' idol is as well. Philip's alliance thought they killed the head of the snake, but he says they missed. Well, I'm glad Malcolm is so positive for someone who so clearly has an uphill battle to fight. Why is that? Well, Malcolm thinks Sherry, who he just tried voting out, and Dawn are on the bottom, so he talks to them and...
The favorites think they have 8 people. They think it's the 7 remaining favorites, and they've brought in Sherry for 8 against 3, which would be Mike, Reynolds, and Eddie. I'm gonna take advantage of that. Because if they go with that and I can pull in a 5-person alliance, that's enough to take over the game. We're on the bottom. If we're gonna do something, it has to be now.
You're saying use 4 fans.
They're already all in. Sherry just agreed. But we all have to do it.
Right. Malcolm's come to me and said, here's how I want to vote. Here's who I'll work with. Do you want to come on board? And I'm thinking, he's going to be a problem. Let me talk to Sherry. Let me think.
Okay.
And then talk to you. It would be great if I could give him the impression I was voting with him and we could all just take him out.
Malcolm is so screwed. I mean, he's screwed. Dawn and Sherry immediately snitch everything to the favorites, and yep, they now see Malcolm as a double agent and they all want him out. He threw away the majority alliance for an alliance with Eddie, whose greatest desire is to own a dog bar, and Reynolds, Mr. Arrogance himself. They call themselves the Three Amigos, as I said before, which is fun, but I can't see this ending well. Brenda wins immunity and Andrea proceeds to play 4D chess and tricks Malcolm into thinking she does not know what his plan is when she really does. Malcolm, why did you do this flip? Was it because Corinne told him he was on the outs back in episode 3 and he's been playing this? I sure hope not. How is Malcolm going to survive this tribal council? Maybe he plays his idol? It seems a bit too soon for that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So they all vote and...
If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Hold up, Reynolds. They all voted for me.
So Reynolds gave his idol to Malcolm. Any votes cast for Malcolm will not count. First vote, Andrea. 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 3 votes, Andrea. Reynolds. 3 votes, Andrea. 1 vote, Reynolds. Michael. 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 5 votes, Michael. 3 votes, Andrea. 1 vote, Reynolds. 10th person voted out and the first member of our jury, Michael. Michael, tribe has spoken.
Just about everything I tried to do went wrong. I tried to bring in the person I thought was on the bottom, who was Dawn. Dawn was never with me. Dawn was never going to be with me.
Tomorrow we're going to go find that hidden media idol again.
Tomorrow we have to wake up and search.
Yeah. Find it tomorrow.
If there's any silver lining, I still have an idol. I still got some power, just a little bit. It's not a whole lot, but I'm not going down without some fireworks.
We might be at the bottom, but we're not going next.
Yeah. Well, I might be.
I'd rather be my own man than be a puppet for Philip.
S-R-S. Well, I am surprised Malcolm convinced Reynolds to play his idol for him, but it was all for naught because Michael Snow went out anyways. Just one of Malcolm's numbers. The Majority Alliance has this game in the bag, and it is so bad. Philip says Malcolm doesn't have an idol, so he's the next to go. Are you sure about that, Philip? Are you sure about that? Reynolds then wins immunity, and guess what? I can't believe I'm about to say this. Malcolm finds a second idol right in front of Andrea and Dawn, who are devastated that he found it. 10 out of 10, their reactions say it all. Burn them, Malcolm, burn them all. So at Tribal Council, him, Eddie, and Reynolds, the three amigos, enact their super secret plan.
Myself, Eddie, and Reynolds are on the outs. We're kind of like we have the plague or something. But this is supposed to be a game, so we figured we'd do something about it. And tonight we're gonna try to. So this is the other immunity idol I've been hanging on to. I'm giving it to Eddie.
The looks on faces. Andrea can't even look up. It's like I want an individual pause button, and I want to hit pause on the other 9.
I know for one vote, we've got control.
Oh my God.
One of the 7 of this very tight group are going home. So we're gonna be safe tonight, but tomorrow morning, the situation's not really changed. We're gonna be down 6-3. We understand that, but we'll just throw it out there. The 3 of us are voting for Philip.
Oh man, I have so many thoughts from seeing this, but let's keep it straightforward. Was it exciting? Of course. Was it the right call to reveal they have idols to everyone? Some might say no, but I think yes. However, where I think they screwed up was telling everyone they're gonna vote off Philip. By doing so, they're letting the majority vote the same way they were going to anyways and let the three amigos do the dirty work. If they had not announced their target, I think this Majority Alliance would probably scramble because none of them want to go. The vote could be super messy in a way that would reveal their alliance dynamic, so people will do anything they can to be safe, but by saying, hey, we're voting Philip, they're like, well, we can kind of let that happen, right? It's a mistake. So they all vote, and
if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so. You. Eddie and Malcolm both played their idols. Any votes cast for Eddie or Malcolm will not count. First vote, Malcolm. Does not count. Eddie does not count. Malcolm does not count. Eddie does not count. Eddie does not count. Eddie does not count. Philip, 1 vote Philip. 2 votes Philip. 11th person voted out, the 2nd member of our jury. Philip, the tribe has spoken.
Thank you.
Episode 11 begins, and with the head of the snake cut off, Malcolm says hopefully Stealth R Us is over and people will really play the game now. The thing is that they have been playing the game, Malcolm. You just joined the losing side. Not the wrong one, just the losing one. But then Treemail says the auction is next, and with that Malcolm says, I will be saving all of my money and using all 500 of it for any advantage or idol clue that comes up. So when the auction begins,
first $20 gets cold beer and peanuts. Malcolm.
Oh no.
I've literally been prepping myself for hours. If you're not gonna eat, I might have just shot myself in the foot for this game for a beer and some nuts.
What? Is Malcolm an alcoholic? Why did he blow any money on the beer and nuts when he needs it for an advantage? What the heck, dude? What the heck? While he doesn't win the challenge advantage, as Cochran gets that instead, he does thankfully win the immunity idol clue with his remaining $480. He got a little lucky there, let me tell you. And he gets to read an idol clue for 60 seconds. He doesn't get to take it back to camp, he just gets to read it and hope he remembers it. Why is this how it works? I don't know why. Just cuz, I guess. So back at camp, he scrambles and looks for the idol, but Andrea is all over him like a hawk. And it also seems like Malcolm doesn't really know exactly where the idol is. Like, it really would have been helpful to have that clue in his pocket. I don't know why they didn't let him have it. This all results in him finding nothing. He says, even if I were to dig in the right spot, Andrea's gonna dig right next to me and she might find the idol instead and steal it. I mean, you gotta take the risk, dude. You could get hit walking across the street checking your mail, but it's a risk you gotta take. Cochran wins immunity thanks to the advantage he bought, and Malcolm says, new plan, we're going to trick everyone into thinking I have the idol. Okay, well, does it work?
The idea is they have to think we have an idol and that we're willing to play it tonight. And our best bet is them thinking that I have one because of what I bid on at the auction. And they need to think I have it. So I took the wrappings from the last one I found, put it in my pocket, and tried to make like I dug it up.
Do it! Let's see it.
No.
Come on, we got you.
I did see him put something in his pocket.
Yeah, that might just be the old.
I know.
Note.
Yeah, it could be old. Cause yeah, he definitely.
I think maybe he just wants us to think that he found it, so we don't look.
Stop looking. I don't know. It's a toss-up. We think that Malcolm found the idol this morning. We're digging, and I see him go away, and I see him put something in his pocket. So he might have the idol, but he might be bluffing. I mean, Malcolm has proven himself to be very, very sneaky, and he could have rolled up the old parchment and put it in his pocket so that we'll be afraid to vote for him. I mean, in my head, I think he probably has it. We have to play it, play smart, like as if he does have it. But either way, I think Malcolm needs to be the next one to go.
That was a secret scene, but no, it didn't work. Andrea is smarter than she lets on. Malcolm then tells Sherry he has the idol and swears on his life that he's gonna play it and vote off Andrea. She says okay, and maybe this could work, except the majority says we have 6, Malcolm has 3. We'll just split our votes, and no matter how this goes, Malcolm is gone. If he plays an idol, I guess then Eddie or Reynolds is gone, who really cares? And if he doesn't play an idol, he's gone on the revote. Dang, I mean, no fake idol can save Malcolm now. So they all vote, and
first vote, Reynolds, Malcolm, Andrea, 1 vote each. Reynolds, Malcolm, Andrea, we're tied again. Reynolds, Andrea, we're tied. Malcolm, we have a 3-way tie. We're gonna re-vote. Reynolds, Malcolm, and Andrea, you won't vote. Everybody else, you can only vote for one of those 3. Malcolm, Malcolm. 12th person voted out, and the 3rd member of our jury. Malcolm, tribe has spoken.
I always said you play the game to win the game. Second's the same as 9th in my book. There's no reason to go all the way to the end if you weren't gonna win. I swung for the fences, you either win or you die trying, and I'm proud of the way I played. I played big. I made a couple moves that were pretty gnarly, and I wouldn't have changed it. I had to fight from the beginning out here. I started out on the bottom, and if I could have been a cow and made it a few more days, I wouldn't have done it. I like the way I played this game. I don't know, I hope everyone wakes up and starts playing the game instead of just mulling around waiting for somebody else to lop their heads off. There's a lot of cows out there right now, and there's 1 or 2 people that are gonna take their heads off soon if they're not careful. And I think I can already pick out the final 3 probably.
so let's break this down. How is Malcolm as a character and as a strategist? Frankly, I think Malcolm was way more fun this time than he was in season 25. He was clearly warmed up and played a lot more joyful and a loose game than he did previously. He was hungry this time to win, is another way to explain it, and played an exciting game, and while it ultimately did not work out, thanks Corinne, it did make for a game that I would genuinely want to watch again over his time in the Philippines, where he was much safer and made it much further, and ultimately could have won that time. Oh, now I get it. This is why the host Jeff Probst pushes for big moves, because while it makes for worse gameplay, it makes for more entertaining television. Duh. Malcolm playing again, I think, with some combination of how he was in seasons 25 and 26, with a bit more maturity of course, would be super dangerous. Out of 17 character moments shown on the show, 11 were heroic and 6 were villainous, making Malcolm a hero character on Survivor, Caramoan. And out of 30 strategic moments shown on the show, 17 were smart and 13 were dumb, making Malcolm a smart strategist on Survivor, Caramoan. Thanks for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. I'll see you all next time.